These days, using the internet is relatively secure. In the olden days, we would load websites with HTTP, the Hypertext Transfer Protocol, whereas in modern days we use HTTPS. The S stands for secure. Secure means your browsing is protected by encryption, and encryption should mean privacy. Unfortunately, there's a gaping hole in this privacy, and that hole is DNS. Fortunately, there's a super easy fix that can secure your DNS in just a few clicks. Hi and welcome back to ScottiesTech.Info. I'm Scotty with my co-host Cletus the Tribble. So, what you're going to do is simply turn on Secure Private DNS. But before we get there, first of all, what the heck is DNS? DNS stands for Domain Name System. When you visit any website or service on the internet, your computer needs to know where that website actually lives. And websites live at what we call domain names. So Google's domain name is www.google.com, and my website's domain name is ScottiesTech.Info. Just as houses have street addresses, domain names are associated with IP addresses. Now, of course, all of this is totally invisible to you and me. Everything happens in the background, but you have to remember that the entire internet is based on tons and tons of IP addresses. Every server on the internet and every computer and every smartphone and tablet, everything needs to know the IP address at which everything else lives so they can send data back and forth. So when you want to load, say, Google, the first thing that happens is your browser says, "Hey DNS, what is the IP address for www.google.com?" DNS then responds with the IP address, the street address of Google, and your browser then downloads the content of the website directly from the IP address. That's what DNS is for. It resolves domain names into IP addresses. Okay, but what's the problem? Because that sounds great. Turns out that while your browsing may be secure because it's encrypted, all the DNS requests that your computer is making is often by default not encrypted at all. So what that means is that anyone on the same network as you, or possibly even the same ISP as you, can see traffic. They can't see the content of the websites that you're visiting, but they can see which websites you're visiting. So they know you went to a particular bank's domain name. They know that you frequent YouTube a lot and watch all the ScottiesTech.Info videos. And they know certain websites that you visit that you'd rather other people don't know about. Right. You're also not protected against certain types of nasty attacks like DNS spoofing. I will spare you the technical details of a DNS spoofing attack. Just know it's not good. Okay, so what's the fix? Well, the fix is, as I said, you're going to turn on Secure DNS, and it's really, really simple. So since most people are using Windows, here we are in Windows 11, you're going to open Settings, Start Settings. And in the Settings, search type DNS. Now, here obviously I have Wi-Fi settings and Ethernet settings. I'm connected to Ethernet, so that's the one I want to pick. If you're using Wi-Fi, you would click Wi-Fi settings. So I will click Ethernet settings. And that's going to take me to this lovely page for my connected network. Now it says blah, blah, blah. If you scroll down, you can see here it says DNS server assignment automatic. And a little further down, it says IPv4 DNS servers. You'll notice Google's DNS server and another one here. And you'll also notice that both, it says they are unencrypted. That's our problem. So what you want to do back up here at DNS server assignment is click the edit button and change it from automatic to manual. And most people, IPv6 is used on the bigger internet, but most people on your local network, your ISP gives you an IPv4 address. So turn on IPv4. In the first preferred DNS, type 1.1.1.1, and DNS over HTTPS, automatic. You want to leave fallback to plain text off, because what that means is if it can't do a secure connection, it just falls back easily to a plain text connection, that's i.e. not encrypted. That's bad because there are certain types of attacks where they can force you to an unencrypted DNS connection, and then of course you're not secure anymore. Then scroll down, and for the alternate DNS, you can put in either 1001, which is CloudFlare's other DNS, but I like to put in a different one, Google 8888, and again, DNS over HTTPS on/automatic. Right, then you just click Save, and now you'll notice it's IPv4 DNS servers, the ones we just entered, encrypted, and down below, the same thing. So that's it. Now all the surfing you do will use encrypted DNS, and you'll have encrypted web pages, and nobody can spy on what websites you're visiting. Okay, that's pretty cool, but what about on your smartphone? Let's take a peek. So here we are on Android. You want to open the Settings app, and then in Settings, you search for Private DNS, usually just type DNS, and there you go, Private DNS. And you'll see here it says Private DNS is set to automatic. Well, if we tap that, it's going to say automatic recommended. Oh, use secure DNS if it's available. If not, it'll fall back. Oh, this will use your network provider. No, no, no. We want to ensure that we are using Private DNS, so we tap Private DNS provider hostname. And what we're going to type in is this crazy thing you see right here. 1 DOT1 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 as in 1.1.1.1 .cloudflare-dns.com. Yeah, you can just pause and right. I'll put that in a link down in the description so you can copy and paste it. Maybe that'll make it easier. And when you're done, tap Save. And there you go. You're now using secured private DNS from Cloudflare. And this domain name, 1.1.1.1.cloudflare-dns.com, will work on smartphones, whereas an IP address often will not. So that's it. Get surfing. And of course, the process for turning on private secure DNS on Linux and Mac OS and iOS devices it's all pretty much the same as I just showed you for Windows 11 and Android. So just search settings for DNS and you'll find it, and then you're all set. So turn on secure DNS and enjoy a little bit of extra privacy. Let me know any other handy favorite security and privacy tips you have in the comments below. For more techie tips, see ScottiesTech.Info. Thanks for watching. See you next time.